Hi. Welcome to another episode of Wisdom That Work. I'm so excited to be here today. And today is going to really be a special day because I have a special offer for us. And today we are talking about family. We are talking about one of the most important institutions in the world. We saw from the book of Genesis how God started with the first family, and the family of God has been thriving ever since then. And today is one of the most important day, and I'm excited to share this truth with us. Before we move further, I have a special offer here. Like I said, this is the wisdom of God captured in a book, and this will really guide you into making the right decisions for in your relationship and your marriage. I've seen people who have asked me several times. I've seen people asking for advice and counsel on what to do. How do I know the right person to marry? As a lady, how do I prepare myself? To be sought out for by a man, because the Bible was speaking. It said, "A man whosoever find a wife has findeth a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord." So the Bible is giving us an understanding that you don't look for a woman, you don't look for a lady, you look for a wife. So how do you become a wife? What are the things you need to do before you can attain that level that you can be ready to be married? This book has all what it takes, all what you need to learn and to know about how to prepare yourself to be a woman, to be a wife, and as a man, how to know the right kind of woman to marry. This book will really help you in making this decision. So today I'm just going to share one of the qualities that I've captured in the book. The first lesson which I captured in this book is what I call hospitality. That was the first lesson. I'm going to be sharing a bit of with us this today, and I really hope that you will get a copy even after listening to this today. So in this book, I wrote here on one of the first lessons I learned from the Shunammite woman. It was a hospitable character. She displayed a high level of hospitality, and by the reason of her hospitable character, she was able to receive what money couldn't do for her and her husband. The Bible gives us an understanding that they are people of influence. They are very wealthy. They have servants. They have investment and company, as you may call it today. But there was something that was lacking in their life, and is the fruit of the womb. She was barren, but because of her hospitable character, she was able to receive that which money couldn't do for them. So why do we need to emphasize on a woman being hospitable? You see, in our world today, we have seen several cases of families that have been destroyed just because the husband is a they call it man of many people, just like the father of many nations. I've seen cases where you see a man who loves people and is always around people. People always come to visit him, and this become a serious challenge for the wife. And so if we don't have an understanding of how to balance between being hospitable and also bringing a balance to you having your private time with your husband, because it is important. No matter how you want to be hospitable, you still need to give yourself the wisdom to know that there is a boundary to which you can allow people into your life. So this book will give you an understanding of how it works. And one of the things I learned from this woman is that this woman displays a high level of hospitality. We have an understanding that this man of God has been coming, and they've been entertaining him and his servant, with food and some time to rest and this and that. But it got to the point that the woman thought within herself that no, I think we should do more than just giving them food. She spoke to her husband, and they were able to build a small room for the man of God. And because of this act of hospitality, this triggered something in the man of God, and Elisha requested that the woman should ask for anything. And of course, she received exactly what she thought it is impossible to have. So some of these things is very important. And a woman who is hospitable from her singleness, when she's still single. You see, I've said it before, marriage is a magnifier. They magnify whatever you have now. So you don't become hospitable when you are married. It is a quality that you must have been displayed right from when you were still single, when you were still your parent, with your friend, and all of those things. So it is important that we consciously build character. And one of the things about character is this: character. So there are people that have some innate character, like something they came with it. They were born that way. Why there are so many other things that you can learn, you can improve on, you can consciously let go of the old habit, character that are not consistent with the godly standard, and then begins to build consciously godly character. And it all starts with the mind. Mindset is what shapes our character. It's what shapes our life. That's why the Bible. That's why there is this word that says that, watch your thoughts. It becomes your word. Watch your word. It becomes your habit. Your habit becomes your character, and your character becomes your lifestyle. So we need to understand that naturally, human, we don't like people, inconveniencing us. We want to have our own convenience. We want to have our own time, our own private time. But we know by what we've seen so far that it is very difficult for you to grow without having people that you can relate with, that you can share your thoughts, share your mind with. And one of the things is that we found out that not everybody are on the same level. There are people today who are not on the level you are, and they need help. And sometimes it might have to do with them coming to you to seek for help. Sometimes they might want to stay over in your place. Sometimes they might just want to hang around you, and then just for it. So we need to be open to receive people. The Bible was speaking, it said, we must entertain visitors, because many have entertained angels by this act. So hospitality is something that the Bible attached to, something that comes with reward. It comes with reward. So being hospitable has a reward on its own. There are people who have entertained their destiny helper, and they are reaping the benefit today. So you cannot be just the woman of yourself or the man of yourself. Nobody lives to himself. The way God created the world, we are created in such a way that we only survive by relating with others. And one of the ways to express your love is being kind to people. I'm going to share this quick experience with us, and then maybe we're going to close. There was this sister I know, like I said, in school, and she was a very good friend of mine. And then it happens that there was a lady who was stranded, and she just got into school. I think the family were having a little bit of financial difficulties. They couldn't afford a hostel for her. So they being a fellowship member, so they introduced this lady to this fellow sister who had been in fellowship, was one of them. She was even an executive, and it happens that just few months or few days that the lady was with her, they started having issues because she loved her privacy. She doesn't want to do anything with people that would intrude her privacy. She loved cooking her food alone, and this you might look at this as, well, that is me, but you cannot live like that. The only way that we can express the love of Christ to others is to give allowances for people to at least share and share from your knowledge, share from whatever you have, your giftings and all of those things. So I was so disappointed, because I know that as a Christian we need to have that mind of entertaining visitors, being helpful to others, being kind to others. So when you see a woman who is not hospitable, I'm telling you, it will be difficult to live with that kind of woman. In fact, that is why you see that many people have had issues with their in-laws, with their brothers, and people coming, even immediate families, because they don't just want people to pry into their private life. And of course, we know that there is a boundary to all these things, but we must understand that life is in phases and men are in sizes. So there are days that somebody needs a hand from you. There are days that somebody needs just that word of comfort from you. And if you don't give them the chance to learn from you, or to receive that which God has given you, then you block the channel of blessing to others. So we must be kind enough to entertain visitors in our home. And these things start, like I said, from the day of your singleness. I've seen ladies who could take 3-4 sisters in their home, and it has become an attitude for them. They no longer struggle with it. Of course, maybe when they started it wasn't really easy, because for a woman it is not easy to have people living with you, and of course I know that seems to be a little bit easier for guys, but for ladies it's not easy. But we need to consciously build this attitude in us. Start by sharing a room with a roommate. Of course, I know their attitude and their character might not be consistent with yours, but you stay with them, you learn endurance. You learn the ability to stay with people. That's how we develop and grow into these things. It doesn't just happen overnight. Start by having a roommate. Start by giving allowances for people's mistakes and excuses, because we know that God is building us for nations, and somebody who is going to be a father or mother of many nations must be able, to receive and, adapt with all kinds of things that people will do. Because, of course, people is going to hurt you. They're going to say something against you. They're going to take advantage of whatever the privilege you've given to them. But we learn, we grow, we become matured, and we begin to give allowances for each other. The Bible encourages us that we should give allowances for each other. And this is what we saw in the life of the Shunammite woman. By a life of hospitality, she was able to receive great reward that maybe she had even given up, and but God did it because she was hospitable. So this is my wisdom to every woman out there. You might be somebody who loves to be alone, but the time has come. You've heard the knowledge. Now it's for you to consciously build this character, and it is possible, it is achievable. So I pray that with this, when you begin to take this step, you begin to see changes in your life, and there are a lot of other benefits you can reap from people if you share and spend time with them. I pray the Lord will continue to grant us the grace in Jesus' name. So as I close, don't forget, go on Amazon.com and get a copy of this material. You will learn a lot of wisdom about how to become that wife that every man is looking for. Stay blessed. See you next time.